Welcome to another episode of How I See It. There's something missing in America today. In a world consumed by chaos and outrage, in a culture where truth is attacked and conviction is mocked, in a time where our enemies possess a ruthless determination to destroy our way of living, and too many of our leaders lack the spine to stand firm, something vital is missing. In homes where parents fear upsetting children more than the children fear dishonoring or disrespecting their parents, when discipline is replaced with appeasement, when comfort matters more than character, something is missing. In churches more concerned with attendance than they are truth, where pastors fear headlines more than they fear God, where political conviction is traded for cultural acceptance, something sacred is missing. And that missing thing is courage. It was courage that built the early church. Men and women preached the truth in face of opposition, imprisonment, and even their own death. Yet they believed eternity mattered more than comfort. It was courage that made the Good Samaritan stop when others walked away. It was courage that caused Noah to build an ark before rain had fallen. It was courage that moved Queen Esther to stand before a king who held within his power the ability to order her execution simply for being in his presence uninvited. And she did it all to try to save her people. It was courage that drove America's founding fathers to sign a Declaration of Independence, fully aware that what they were actually signing was their death warrant if their fight for freedom failed. It was courage that caused Benjamin Franklin to say, "We must all hang together, or assuredly we will hang separately." It was courage declared in the darkest days of war, when in England, when it looked like utter defeat was just imminent, and Winston Churchill stood and declared, "Never, never, never give up." It was courage that caused Rosa Parks to remain seated in the front of the bus when the world said she had to move to the back. It was courage that caused Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to dream of a country where people were judged not on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. It was courage after America was attacked on 9/11 that led President George W. Bush to stand on a pile of rubble before the world and declare, "We will not waver, we will not tire, we will not falter, and most assuredly, we will not fail." It was courage that led NFL player Pat Tillman to resign from the league and join the military to go fight for a country that had been attacked, a decision that ultimately cost him his life on a battlefield. Yes, that took courage. It was courage that led a young man to college campuses all across our country and across the world to debate ideas and morals in the face of numerous death threats from those who could not win in the debate arena. It was courage for that mission that led the young Charlie Kirk to the campus where a coward who wouldn't win in a debate or a discussion used an assassin bullet to end the life of Charlie Kirk. That was courage that caused Kirk to do it. That same courage is desperately needed today. We need a courage to defend the founding principles of this nation, the courage to stand against the erosion of morality and truth, the courage to reject the godless indoctrination that poisons the mind of our elementary age school children, the courage to speak truth to power, even when it costs us popularity, comfort, or position, the courage to stand for righteousness in a world that increasingly celebrates evil. We need courage to raise sons and daughters who know the difference between right and wrong and are willing to stand for right no matter the cost. We need leaders in government, business, education, and religion who value truth more than they do applause, who value principle more than they value power, who have conviction more than they care for convenience. We need mothers and fathers who will boldly raise men and women of integrity, discipline, faith, and courage. We need pulpits that are unafraid to proclaim the uncompromising word of God, to call sin what it is, and to point people toward redemption and truth. America does not need merely better policies, my friends. America needs a revival of courage. The courage to stand, the courage to speak, the courage to fight for what is good, the courage to defend freedom and our way of life. Yes, America needs a courage of conviction. And if that courage arises, then perhaps this nation can rise again as well. Until next time, keep fighting and stay courageous.